I'm logging into the Roll20 and it's just being a butt loading.
And that is the first thing that's being broadcast, I think.
I'm so
Hello!
sorry.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Serenia Studios, the lore of Leyus, Starburst. And I am joined by my players today. I am, of course, your host, Leyus, and also, Loreley, and also joined by CyberneticPinkeye,
Hello.
RedAsATomato,
Oh.
and some other bitch. Anyway, no, it's SerenaMidori. I'm kidding!
No, it's fine. I just want to introduce myself.
That's fine. Anyway. I tease.
Jesus.
Today has been a day. So the reason why I'm running a little bit on the later side today, unfortunately, for those of you who tuned in for 4:30 or 4:30 Central, and it's actually 4:40 at this point, I have had an interesting couple of weeks, and this last week especially was full of days where I was not getting enough sleep for one reason or another, compounded with having to try and pick up some necessities and trying to deal with, unfortunately, a cat who has gotten sick. We're going to be taking him to the vet tomorrow, so hopefully he's going to be okay. He's doing a little bit better now, but that has been, unfortunately, something that has absorbed much of this weekend for me. So on top of all of that, I then get around to today and I'm like, shit, I didn't get the dashboard ready for it. It's up now. You can see that it is in fact up at this point. But it was just one of those oh crap until I was like, okay, let's get on the live air. Hello people, as you're kind of trickling in. So if I sound a little bit as if I'm still tinged by anxiety, it's because it's still a little fresh, but I should be okay. That all said, because this has been a week to endure, today might end up being a somewhat shorter session, just by virtue of, on top of everything else. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how I feel. We'll see how the players feel once we get past a certain point, but we last left off with an encounter, and we'll get to that momentarily. But I just wanted to say hi, and all you lovelies in call with me, hello.
Hello.
Oh.
Oh, wow. I love, by the way, that Koshi has just become everyone's favorite, mascot of this campaign.
Okay, listen, I wouldn't necessarily say that's true. I remember, a lot of people have been pointing out how Ariadne has just been, has a tongue quicker than, Eminem in terms of putting strings of sentences together. And also how Haelum is just a boss-ass bitch, so.
Oh, absolutely. She is the queen. This is her Haelum.
Yes.
Hashtag Haelum.
Yes, hashtag Haelum.
God, bitch.
She's going to have everyone in the campaign in love with her by the end of it. It's a foregone conclusion.
Yes.
Nice.
Ariadne.
Are you...
Oh yeah, she's a rap god. Now I want to see Ariadne do a cover of Eminem's Godzilla.
She'll do it and she'll cry doing it.
Oh gosh. See, and I love that recently I've been getting back into Dragon Age 2, which, if those of you are following my own personal channel, know from yesterday I was streaming a good chunk of it. But there's a character in that game that I realized is just Ariadne. It's Meryl. Meryl is just Ariadne.
She has so much Ariadne energy from the clips I saw. I was like, what the fudge? That's hilarious.
She's absolutely I can't say that it's 1-to-1, but there's a lot there's a lot of overlaying intersection there, including sheltered, having grown up in the wild, and being magical and connected with nature, and all of that stuff. There's a lot, and then just the personality of being nervous and apologetic, and also trying to be helpful and unsure of things, but still sharply intelligent, and it's just her. And then I found a gif of a tiny monkey, grabbing the leg of this big bug. And the
Oh,
bug
yeah.
pulling the leg away, and I was like, okay, but this has Koshi and Ariadne energy.
Little bit.
Just
The legs.
Ariadne being like, oh, but it looks like a leg. Oh, what's this? It's a leg?
And just Koshi going, nope.
Leg time denied.
But I will say, like, it's been nice getting the I've seen there's been some fan art that has come out of this, which, let me friggin' tell you, if you do fan art for this campaign, you better believe that it's going to hit home with everyone. I know that because Koshi got fan art. Griffin was, dancing a little bit in the clouds like, this has never happened before.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, I will happily accept any and all fan art for my bastard children. In fact, would you be okay with me posting in the little media thing we have for this the Koshi fan art?
Yeah, if you like to. And I was even going to go on to say, I don't have it ready today because aforementioned Hell Week and all of that. But I want to see if people want to actually submit fan art about this campaign. You can probably, if you're on Discord and you share a channel with me or share a server with me, you can always like DM it to me, or if you're in one of my servers, you can usually post it. And I want to see if I can do something about actually showcasing some of the fan art that gets done for
Like do a feature section.
What was that?
Like doing a feature section?
Yeah. Something
Hell
along
yeah.
those lines. Just like if you do fan art for this or anything along those lines, like I can't say read a fanfic or anything like that.
Right.
I'll read it. I just don't think I can read it live. But if you've got fan art and you want to submit that, you can also go to the Sirenia Studios Twitter, and I believe you can send media over that way. I think I would have to accept it first, but
Yeah.
but you can always send it that way. I'm down. I know that I'm down to see people drawing these characters because I love them, and I love people being so engaged with something like this that they want to make something creative with it.
Yeah. So, by all means, please do all the fan art. I want to see Ariadne as a rap god and Haelum just in the center of her harem.
Badass boss.
Yes.
But so that's what's been going on all over there. I love getting the fan art, and like I just said, I apologize again if I'm a smidge on the rambly side. You'll have to forgive me for that. But it's been one of those, like, I've been running almost full stop since I got awake today. Best part, sat upright and was like, okay, I need to get, oh god, I don't feel well.
Oh,
Yeah, I know that
I
feeling.
relate to that.
And that was not a fun experience, sitting up and being like instantly, oh god, I need to be unconscious again. Thankfully, I feel much better. I've been awake for a little bit. I've had plenty to drink. I have made sure that my cat is feeling better. I actually, here's a little bit of a teensy trick for those of you who are cat owners. I don't know if this applies to dogs, but I imagine that it would too. If you have a favorite, if you have a pet baby, a fur baby who is having some troubles with digestion and they're not able to keep things down, and they're like they've had like an apparent loss of appetite, you can usually get baby food because it's literally designed to be easy on the stomach. I mean, like, for human babies, but it also works for non-human babies. So if you get some of those, I mean, if it's for a pet, especially if it's like a feline or canine pet, make sure that it's a meat-based one. Try to avoid too many grains, and definitely not like a lot of high sugary ones or anything like that. Meat and protein, meat especially, is what you want to be giving your cat, but it can make a huge difference in terms of helping them to soothe their stomach and get something that they can keep down. And I can attest, I got some of that today and gave it to Garrus, and he seems to be resting considerably better than he did earlier this weekend. So, there's my own little, I mean, like, again, that's not like, it's not like a paid advertisement or anything, but that's my just letting you guys know, handy little trickeroony, if you want to do something when your cat's not feeling so great. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna swap things over. Like, I still love this splash screen, though, just with everyone, with the I still love that art that you did, Gab.
Woo.
Gab's a fucking champ.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
fantastic artist. Like, I remember being excited when you first started drawing it, and then seeing as it developed, and I was just like, oh my god, this is perfect. As much as I also love my child happily gesturing to the onlooker.
Like, it legit reminds me of, like, the cover, like, after the opening sequence, like, the last screen you'd see of, like, the title screen for, like, an 80s or 90s fantasy cartoon.
I mean, this is effectively a title screen in many ways. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna swap things over here. Hopefully you guys can see it. Cool. And I mean, God, I would love for this to be an anime, but obviously that's not happening. Not yet. Unless someone wants to animate. Okay, alright. So, let's see. I do have a new dashboard up today. That was actually one of the reasons why I was a smidge on the later side. Was I was like, shit, I don't have a dashboard. I was able to put it together. It's not particularly polished, but fortunately, we left off at a point where I don't have to do a ton of planning because I already did the planning for what's coming up next. So thankfully, that at the very least is not going to suffer for how this last couple of weeks have been. But to read the recap, the team met with their new bandit friends and learned the full story from their leader, Leandra. Danforth had commissioned them for rare magical items and had missed his fees, so they came to collect, with interest. The heroes also met Hilda Brackland, the captain of the guard. I almost said queen of the guard. Kind of, but who asked if they knew what the shady adventurers were up to. She then asked if they could look for two of her guards. They vanished the night before during the, zombie attack. She's offered a reward for their return, something free from her shop. On their way back from meeting with Leandra, our heroes found traces of the missing guards. They tracked them down to a riverside surrounded by twig blights. And this is a finicky fucking screen. Anyway, to do, save the guards, bring them home. Hey Koshi, wanna chew on some twig blights?
Oh, Koshi's gonna have some fun with these guys.
Oh, are they? Are they indeed? I forget. I did actually have you roll for this, interestingly enough. I was like, what were the last rolls here? Ah, yes. As a side note, for those of you who may be coming to this new, I would personally recommend catching up on the previous 3 streams. Not today. Stick around and watch today, but generally speaking, you're not going to see me rolling on camera, so to speak. I've actually got my own set of dice and like a little place that I'm going to be rolling them. I'm going to be doing this in the traditional way and using the internet as a functional DM screen. So you're not going to see my rolls the way that you're not really supposed to see my rolls. But you can. Rather, a DM can individually choose to show their rolls, but it's nice to have a little leeway. So, all of that said, I think I'm going to knock things over. Go me. That has been my day.
I think I will cause problems on purpose.
I will cause problems by complete and utter accident, and I just have a tagline for Ariadne. Whoops. Actually, for Lyronus, too, while I'm thinking of it.
You know what?
I will cause problems. I don't mean to!
It just keeps happening.
So this is a relative...
On and on and on and on. Yeah, what the fuck?
It's fine. Don't worry, you weren't warmed up.
Yeah.
What did
I
I
also,
just do?
I want to
Sounded
point.
good.
I want to point out again the patreon.com/tactical map. That was where I got this map from. Obviously, show support to D&D map creators. They do a service that helps out the rest of us tremendously.
Yeah.
So you can see us at the bottom of the screen, and I may as well just kind of reread the description that came up in the last one just to get everyone, I guess, up to date. I'm going to apparently have to do that first. Okay. As you move closer to the river, you hear shouting. On entering a clearing, you see the two guards, young, maybe late teens, recoiling from what, at first, looks like several dried-up bushes. As you draw nearer, though, you can see them moving with life. And they actually did do a successful check. Ariadne, unsurprisingly, the druid of the group, was able to identify them as twig blights, an awakened plant creature that will eat whatever prey they come into contact with. And, let's see, did they... Oh, okay, I didn't actually do that one. So that's where we were last. Griffin, you good? That sounded like that hurt.
I mean, it hurts something. I'm guessing, not me personally, but I'm guessing it hurts some eardrums out there.
I think it hurt your soul.
Maybe your pride.
Yeah.
Well, what pride?
You have pride,
Oh,
don't
it's true.
Don't you pretend you don't have pride.
Uh-huh.
Alright.
Have you ever eaten your pride?
What?
I mean, it depends on what condiments I have in the fridge.
I mean, what do
hate
you
you.
eat with lions?
I mean,
They seem I think they would be a little bit gamey, don't you think?
depends on how you prep them.
True, depends on the size of the lion.
Yeah,
Anyway,
boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
I want to leave.
so we currently have everyone at the bottom of the screen. This is a big map here. And I could zoom out and show, like, it's very small, but there's a lot of space to move around. So, let's leave it to you guys. What do you guys want to do? What you doing?
Turn and run away. No, I'm kidding.
Let's go, running pog.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, in terms of, like, either before or after initiative, it would be run towards them.
Yeah, so far they have not noticed you. You're also far enough away that it would be difficult for them to notice you at this point anyway. And I think that, for example, the guards are a little preoccupied, and I also think that the twigs, the twig blights are also a little bit preoccupied with, their current prey.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. You can, okay. Griffin just
Yeah, because I
sent
wanted
me a
Yeah.
DM. Wait until we get a little bit closer. I'll have everyone's gonna roll a perception among other things when you get closer. When you do get close enough, I'll have you roll that.
Okay.
And you don't have to say what it is. You can just determine whether or not Koshi reacts one way or another.
Okay, gotcha. Well, keep some surprises here.
Yes, that's also fair. So I'm guessing we're making our way over.
And making our way downtown, walking fast, walking fast, walking fast, walking fast, walking fast.
Yes. The answer is
Okay.
yes. I was going to ask how far we're able to move.
I'm gonna say let's get to about where Lyronus currently has been placed.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask
Okay.
if I can move because I cannot click my icon.
Oh, yeah, our icons are not editable.
Same.
Oh, I forgot to do that, didn't I?
I mean, can I drag mine from my character sheet?
No. I'm going to fix this. No.
Okay.
I
All right.
apologize. I'm
That's the same thing. It's okay.
Did I get the right one? Okay, hang on. There we go. Apologies, guys. We're running a little bit behind in many ways, and this was just one of those, whoops, I forgot to double check that one. There you go. Hopefully you should all be able to move them now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Alright. So, you get to about this point. Just watching Koshi moving to the side. Alright, I
Just
want
sort
you...
of like making their way all around.
Alright, and, actually, no, I think I didn't have you roll for this, but I think roll perception anyway, just to see about making sure that I got this anyway.
Okay.
One moment.
What do I perceive with my 4 eyes?
If you roll a 12 too, okay, that's
No.
also...
Just worse.
So, I will say that Haelum, I mean, it's not exactly like this is going to be difficult to see anyway. You just don't happen to see it at this distance, but probably once you get closer, you'll be able to see this. The other two, you see that the 2 guards are definitely unarmed. The swords that you saw on your way out here tracking them were definitely theirs. And they appear to be utterly terrified. Like, they're actually cowering at the strange creatures. Not necessarily what you would expect from a couple of trained guards, but, I mean, they are young, so hard to say. Did you come at the right time, Ragnar? Hard to say. So, alright, at this point, Koshi, roll that thing.
Okay. Alright. So, Koshi looks at these creatures approaching, and for a moment, there seems to be a bit of a glint in their eye. Almost as if there's a trace of recognition. But after a second, they sort of shake their head, pull out their sword, and go, wipe them out. All of them.
Alright, and let me just... Ooh. Okay. Oh. Alright, 2 of them happen to actually hear you as you're approaching. The other 3 are still fixated on the guards, but this one and that one happen to hear you and turn in your direction at this point. The other 3 are still focused on their prey. So, because we're here, let me get it open. Let me do the thing I'm supposed to be doing. That's the... Okay, so remember to select your icon and then roll your initiative.
Okay.
Also, I'm going to actually pull up all of the...
Damn.
Haelum take charge.
Haelum.
Oh god, that means I have to figure out what I'm doing. No!
I mean, I'll even give you a moment because I'm still organizing my thoughts. I had to I had to pull something up on my end. So,
Dang,
okay.
quick, give me the brain cell.
Alright, so what...
Brain cell pop.
And let me just quickly roll for Lyronus.
Lift up your arms, give Gabby your brain cells.
Lend me your thought process.
Turn. Lyronus, I'm sorry.
I'm assuming he's not doing too well today.
I mean...
Does he have no addition to his fucking initiative?
Well, probably does. Yeah, he does.
He's just that kind of boy.
Either that or negative dex, which I wouldn't doubt either.
I would not either.
His dex is fine. But even with his initiative bonus, he rolled a nat 1. So he's definitely at the bottom. And let me see. I mean, there's no reason to keep this private, so doing these... how would I set these as initiative, huh? I guess I just have to add turn and add turn. And this is one of those things, like, I want to remind you all that I am a baby DM and still kind of learning my way around things. And add turn and add turn. And let me roll their turns for them, see how their initiative goes. I mean, who knows? Maybe they're faster than you, Haelum. I doubt it. But, let's see. Alright. I mean, they're faster than some of you, I guess. I accept that one. This is interesting. Okay. So, one of them was on the ball, and I'm going to say that's probably one of the ones that was paying attention to you. Actually, yeah, it was. In fact, one of the ones that was looking at you. And, what's your... So you're not faring any better there. Sorry, just remarking to myself. So let's put these now back in order. So, one of the ones that, was paying attention is going right after you, Haelum. Okay, put them in the correct order. I would put them all on the same turn, but I'm gonna make things interesting.
I love that.
I should make them all on the same turn, but...
Putting them all on the same turn is a good thing for the DM when it's like there's a lot of stuff going on. Or in a lot of my cases where it helps if you're playing a solo game, it's like, well, you don't want to have to keep track of all that anyways. But if you only have like this many characters, that's fine. Put them all on their own because it's fun to see who goes when.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to know all of when. So,
if it helps you also, just to point this out real quick, if you want to color code them, that might actually help you as well.
Yeah.
Because I know if you highlight them, you know which is which, but...
Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with that for now, but that is a good thing to keep in mind. I will definitely be keeping that in mind. And I need to scoot that out of the way. Lyronus gets a 1 because he's number 1. I mean... No, he's not. He is a precious, but, I don't know that he's necessarily number 1. I think that I would definitely put that at Haelum. Speaking of which, Haelum, it is your turn.
Alrighty. Which ones are looking at Haelum?
The 2 that actually saw the group were this one and that one. The other 3 are still focused on the other 2 guards.
Okay. I think what Haelum would do, especially, is she's going to... Not that she even needs to, but it's within her character to turn to the rest of the group and basically, without necessarily saying it in character voice, like basically take out the threats, save the guards. Which, again, probably didn't need to be said, but she's going to say it anyways.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to move her 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet forward. You see her, she's actually, like, unsheathed her rapier at this point. Like, she looks like she's, like, running up to attack one of them. But because she's not going to get to them yet in this round, I am instead... she's got a rapier, but she's going to do a vicious mockery on this one.
That is the next one in line, too, so that works.
Good. She's going to basically yell that they're not even good enough to eat the soil beneath the guards' feet, let alone them.
Ooh, the roasting.
Cool. Let me actually pull up something that I should have already... Again, this is one of those, oh yeah, let's get this shit open. Let's see.
Let me post the thing, if that helps. Bleep. No. Bleep. There we go.
Yeah, that does also help. Let's see. Alright, needs to roll a wisdom saving throw, which does not... I don't think this is going to work too well in its favor, but what did you... Okay, so...
You never know. It's a DC 13.
It did not save, so, 1d4 damage.
Yep, I gotcha.
And you actually made that. Cool, so 3 damage to this thing. So...
I lowered its self-esteem. Time to kill it.
Yep. What am I... Oh, there we go. Alright, so I just need to make a quick note and adjust that.
We'll steal your prey and call you a bitch.
Alright. There we go. So I'll even say, so as you shout that, the thing watching you coming up, and it looks like it's preparing to, like, it's like twisting in your direction. As soon as you say that, and, you know, the psychic wave washes over it, it clutches at its head and shouts in its, you know, twig blight language, and kind of like this, you know, roar of pain, and is clearly struggling with the effects of having, like, this pain absolutely overwhelm it. It does not appear to be doing okay. And that's its turn, or that is, it's now its turn, and so you just pissed it off.
Hell yeah. Come at me, bro.
Let's see.
Actually, I shouldn't have that mentality. I'm not a barbarian in this game.
I mean, you could
Your
be.
little lava baby.
Barbarian is a thing.
I could be a scald. Anyways, no, I mean, I think that it's even funny because while not being a barbarian or tank in any way, Haelum still has the come at me personality. So it
Oh,
still
yeah.
works.
Absolutely. All right, let's see. You, this thing enraged and in pain, charges at you and is gonna be. Let me just even double check a couple of things here. Ooh. Looks like 15 hits you, doesn't it?
Yep, my AC is 13.
Okay, so. Okay. And you take 2 damage. So this thing makes a swipe at you with its claws. Actually, hang on, I just realized you have disadvantage. Or it has disadvantage, so what does the other one do? And it actually misses! So it takes a swipe at you. And it looks at first like it's actually going to connect. Just like me retconning as a DM here. But it looks like it's going to connect, but then all of a sudden the psychic wave still, like, resonating in its head causes it to cringe and double back mid-swipe. And is not able
with
to...
its equilibrium.
Yes.
Let's go.
You fucked it, and now it can't. Now it did not hit you. But let's see.
That actually worked out very well. I was about to take that damage, but yeah.
This thing.
Again, I imagine she's doing her weird, graceful, dancing, dodging thing.
Well, I mean, if nothing else, the thing literally couldn't even complete its swing. So, like, she could just, like, do, like, the very slight step to the side, and it misses anyway.
She's
Dodges.
Baby, she's Grace.
DOJs.
She will stab you in the face.
Yeah.
And then,
Perfect.
let's see, is this... Yeah, this can move. So, this one, having not been paying attention to you guys yet, actually takes a swipe at the guard dude. But misses. But the guard shrieks anyway.
Aww.
Ariadne, it's your turn.
Dang.
Killed them.
Okay. Alright, let's kill.
Hi, Sean.
Let's see.
Ariadne, alright, let's kill!
Screams. I'm trying to see. How do I do the arrow thingy? Like, what is 30 feet away from here? It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Would moving her, like, over here still count as 30 feet? Or is that
Where
more
did
than
you-
that?
Where did you start? Yeah, that's 30
Yeah.
feet.
That's still 30 feet?
That's still
Okay.
30 feet right there. And that puts
Cool.
you in a handful of ranges, I think.
Alright, who's the one that tried to take a swipe at the guard again? Is it the closer one?
At the bard or at the one at the guard?
At the guard.
The
Uh,
bard.
That's this one right here.
Oh, that's 40 feet. Cringe.
You can, however, do you have a bow of any kind, or?
Oh, see, I want to use a specific spell.
Yeah.
Because they're twig boys. And I
Yeah.
have produce flame.
Well, you'll be able to in a second, but do you have a long-range weapon to use here? I'm just even
Oh.
checking.
Let me check.
I think only Koshi does, if I remember correctly.
I
have
thought you
a
did.
s-
I thought you do too. Let
I
me
have a
see.
sling.
Okay.
But I don't. Let me see how far that.
I could
actually
potentially throw a
goes.
dagger, but
Yeah.
I'm
I was
not
gonna
going
say
to do that.
Koshi, because I have something in mind for Koshi. Would I be able to use a free action to have Koshi toss their bow to Ariadne?
And not at that distance.
Well, I mean,
And handing
while-
off
while they're
items isn't
moving,
truly
'cause
a free action.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I intend to have them move like past Ariadne.
I'm gonna say I'm looking right now at what a sling is. I do have a sling, and it does say it is a ranged weapon.
But
So I
what's the range on it?
can 30 to 120.
Oh, okay. I don't know how that works. Hey, Gab, resident DM, how does that resident alternate DM? How does that work?
I'll look it up for you real quick because I always get it wrong.
Yeah. I mean, worst comes to worst, I'll just say what I think it is, and then possibly be wrong. But
Let me read this out loud so everybody can learn. Range, a weapon that uses range. Okay. Firstly, the two numbers mean the first number is the weapon's normal range in feet. The second number indicates the weapon's long range. What consequences of attacking at long range? When the attacking target is beyond normal range, you have disadvantage on the attack roll. So anything lower up to the bottom, like the first number, that's your normal range. You can shoot up to that without disadvantage. The higher number that's as far as the weapon can actually shoot, but you will have disadvantage.
Okay.
I do have a question in that regard.
No.
What?
I'm planning on having Koshi using cunning action to sprint a little closer. While sprinting past Ariadne, would I be able to use a free action to have Koshi like toss Ariadne their bow?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna say because you're also on your next in line. I don't think you're going to need to because she does have a sling.
Okay.
And I would rather that Koshi also retain their bow.
All right.
So.
Yeah, but thank you for the offer.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
And that's something to keep in mind. Like, I'll even say, like, if you're next in the initiative, then something like coordinating with the person before you is fine. It's just in this particular instance, I'm going to suggest that they not have to do that because Ariadne does have a sling.
All right, that's fair.
And I imagine that Koshi would still want to hold on to their long-range weapon.
Well,
And
they
just to-
recently got themselves a new long-range weapon, which will be interesting to see upon their turn.
Just to butt in for a moment as the secondary DM player, I did look it up. Free actions are not really defined. The answer to the question, can you hand over a weapon as a free action, it says, you might be able to if the DM allows it. So it's literally up to Laura on that case.
Right.
I
Just
would
wanted to put
say...
that out there.
I would say in this particular situation, because you're also doing it while running, to be able to hand it off. Like, if you were standing next to her already, I would be like, yeah, sure, that's just like you're already right there. But if you were charging past her, you would probably need to make that your full action.
Okay, that's fair.
So you would not be able to do any other action on that turn. You'd be able to do your cunning action and tossing it off, and that would be your thing. But I suspect that Koshi, instead of just, again, personal recommendation, and I'm going to assume Koshi is probably smart enough to figure this one out too. Ariadne has. I could even see, like, Koshi contemplating, like, tossing that over to Ariadne, and then seeing Ariadne possibly drawing the sling, if that's what Ariadne's gonna do.
I mean, possibly, yeah. Plus, it also even works better in character that, like, Koshi might be a little, like, focused on the task at hand and might not acknowledge it, even. You'll see what I mean.
I will also say there is at least, there are a couple of other Twig Blights in your range for that particular spell if you would rather do that. But I also know, understand, like, in character, Ariadne would be like, no, protect guard!
Yeah.
It's like I'm debating because it's like because her objective is to be.
Suggestion.
Oh yeah, what's up?
Not to interrupt you, but you can still try to go save him. Like, given that the distance is so large, the rounds are meant to be only a couple seconds long. You can shoot a fireball at one person in the meantime while running up to save him. Like, it just is going to take you that long anyway. So if you're like, oh, well, I want to save him first, well, you got to get there first. So if you want to attack a different twig boy on the way, it would still make sense. You're not letting the guard down.
Okay, yeah, because I would think her objective would be sees twig boys attacking Haelum, sees twig boys attacking guard. I'm gonna go save my buddies.
Side note, Twig Boy is I guess an in-group reference to the Twig Blights because of another campaign that I'm not in. Griffin's not in. I don't think Jane's in. But I think it was it Sean who coined Twig Boy? I
think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was him. It was a game that I played in real life. I apologize, I'm eating chips.
You're
Fine.
Once I introduced the Twig Blights, it was like, oh, let's stop calling. It was my brother and Sean. They both coined it together, so the two himbos of the group.
That makes sense.
Let's go.
So.
But yeah. I think in that case, she's gonna set the one near Haelum on fire and hope that helps.
If you land it, it will definitely help, especially because, fire. You even know that Twig Blights react very strongly to fire because of your earlier nature check. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother fucking rolling anything. That thing's dead. Alright? I'm just gonna fucking straight up say it. This thing...
Deleted.
You have... let's see. How do I
Oh,
do
is there like
things?
a
Oh, I
damage
didn't even
roll
get to
necessary
stab
for
him.
that, or?
No, it had
Okay.
1 HP left.
So it wouldn't
Fair.
have even mattered.
It wouldn't. It wouldn't have mattered. Oh, that's right. That's how I do things. Okay, that thing is now dead. Basically, you fling, like the bare tip of the produced flame hits the thing, and it just, while still roiling in pain at the vicious mockery attack, just absolutely ignites. And it doesn't even just burn down, it just straight up incinerates to ash, like almost disintegrating with the wind carrying it away.
It
That's
just
what you
swooshes
just
up.
did, Ariadne.
Look at what you did.
Look at what you did!
Kind of like, oh, that worked a little too well.
Like, sorry.
I
Yeah,
lit you on fire.
basically.
I mean, I'm sorry that I lit you on fire, but you were attacking my friend!
You were rather rude.
It's that bad. If it's between you or my friend, I would rather you go. Don't take it personally. But also, she's kind of flinching a bit at like how the twig boy erupts into flames. So
Ragnar. Sorry,
she's
Ragnar.
just gonna.
I get it.
He's already dead.
Yeah. I was gonna read that, but I apologize. I was cutting over Jane.
No worries, no worries.
But yeah, stop! He's already dead! It was probably pretty close to it anyway. So, Ariadne, that was your turn. You're probably still making your way over to the one that's attacking the guard, Koshi.
Joy. So I've been looking forward to trying out these abilities. I'm gonna use Cunning Action to have Koshi sprint over 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And as if out of instinct, Koshi is going to swing their sword around and point it at the twig boy who attacked the guard, almost like a magic wand, and cast Bolts from the Grave.
You have learned to unleash bolts of that Karate. You can, after you use your cunning action, you can make a ranged spell attack.
So I think I need to actually roll the attack on that. Because I think it's in my attacks and spells casting thing. I think I just hit the description.
You add your dex modifier. Okay. So yeah, using the sword, I'm going to say that yes, you use your sword as basically like a focus for the direction of it, and
Yes.
you point it at the particular twig
The
light.
twig boy closest to that guard, yes.
All right. Well, hang on. Yeah, actually, unfortunately, that does not hit. However, you now have its attention. So... But you also have this one's attention, cause, I should say, this one's attention, cause you
Joy.
ran up real close to it and all of that. Alright, and let's see, yeah, okay, just double checking. Comes right up to you. And, let's see. It does not hit you. As a matter of fact, okay, yep, I'm going to... So, I'll describe what happened in just a sec, sorry.
Okay.
Something did happen just now. So, it ran up to you, but in the process, ended up actually tripping over a rock on the ground. It rolled a nat 1.
Damn.
Tripped over a rock and fell at Koshi's feet, and ended up, kind of like cringing in pain at hitting as hard. Like a couple of like little twig branches kind of fell off of it, and the process of that whole thing landing on the fucking ground. Lyronus, what do you even do? I have been so busy doing other things, I'm like trying to figure out what else he does. Let me just double check. Me just like thinking over what he's gonna do. Well, in terms of what even makes sense, I think that on seeing Koshi make the attempt to try and save the guard and not be able to succeed, he ends up giving bardic inspiration to Koshi, wanting to support Koshi on their next attack. So you have a D12 at your disposal sometime in the next 10 minutes, and when you roll the die and add the number of the D12 to one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. So so say you do another attack, or if you need to protect yourself because you're now very close to any of them, you have whatever you roll on your D20. If you want to add to it, you can roll an additional D12.
Cool.
So I may as well even just send that to the chat so y'all can see it.
Much appreciated.
Thank you.
And that was... So that was his bonus action, but then his actual action, what is he gonna do?
Cry.
Yeah, he'd be like that. Alright, then that's still his bonus action. He doesn't really have much. So, I mean, he does have a lot, but I think in this situation, he's going to follow suit with Haelum, follow her lead. So, I'm going to have him move. Oh god, I have to move my map because it's such a big fucking map. And let's see. Yeah, you can move to about there. Alright, right there. Alright, so he's gonna come running up alongside to Ariadne. I mean, I know that it's like one at a time, but I feel like he would have been running in that same direction and stopping right at the same place as where she was right next to her. Then he did do the bardic inspiration, tossing that over to Koshi, basically. I mean, except, you know, in D&D terms. And then he does his own vicious mockery. I'm like juggling too many different things here. Lots of things to do here. What's in range for him? Yeah, the one that just fell. I mean, I could even see that that's like literally at the inspiration behind using that there. So basically shouting out to the one that just collapsed near Koshi, like, you know, you're tripping over your own roots. God, you're pathetic. Or gods, you're pathetic. And, oh, huh. It actually rolled pretty well, but did not beat the DC. So, let's take and actually, this is one of the ones, okay, yeah, it manages, the mocking of this creature was so convincing. It dissolved from the wave of psychic pain that hit it.
I love the fact that Koshi ran up towards a twig boy, failed in casting a necrotic spell, another one runs towards them, falls over, like trips over themselves, and then fucking dissolves. What must these guards be thinking?
Dissolves in shame, no less. Did they get... Alright, so this one's going to be removed from the turn order. Apologies. The other one that died is also going to be removed from turn order. Cool. Alright, so the one currently up to bat, again, because this is all happening in the same round, is going to be trying to help its buddy in attacking this guard. And let's see... Ooh, unfortunately, it hits. And again, I will note that, so it comes over and it actually just swings its branch arm, and hits the poor guard for a couple of damage there. Anyway, so basically, again, the guard, supposedly trained with a sword and all of that stuff, I mean, technically unarmed at the moment, but basically just utterly quails in fright and despite being, in armor, seems to recoil from the hit, like as if it was being, like as if he was being hit by a whole fucking log.
I love how these guards aren't even in a turn order. They're so scared.
Yeah, they're not taking any kind of action. Alright, this little dude over here, well, no matter, okay, so what it basically does, I'm just gonna double check at the, so on seeing one of its comrades getting killed, makes its way over to make an attempt at Haelum, but I can already tell with what it rolled, it did not make its throw, and also basically, like, makes a swishing attack and doesn't even graze, like, her fluttery, flowy dress. It just utterly misses.
I love how the only ones with any sort of hand-eye coordination are the ones that are at the guards.
Yeah, little bit. Apparently it is possible to die of embarrassment. Yes, absolutely. Emotional crit, yes.
Evidently.
So, Haelum.
Awesome. First thing I'm gonna do, 5, 10 feet. Basically, she's gonna do a fucking ballerina twirl around this thing and then stab it with the rapier.
Cool.
12 hit.
That actually does not hit.
Okay.
So I'm gonna even say that what happens is that you stab it, but it goes in between all of the branches and completely misses it. Like it just goes through the twig blight.
Yeah.
So unfortunately that misses.
Okay. Next turn.
Yep. Alright, this boy. Actually, it takes another swipe at the guard. Again, still kind of oblivious to the others at this point. And how much damage?
Wait a second, didn't I get that one's attention?
Not yet. You attacked it, but you did not succeed in actually hitting it. And it has prey right in front of it, so it's going to go for the prey.
I remembered you saying it didn't hit, but it got its attention.
Well, it's still going to go for the prey that's right in front of it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not the same thing as like with video games where you can like actually pull aggro.
Okay, gotcha.
Unless I choose...
yeah, DM discretion.
So, alright. This poor guard, unfortunately ends up taking some more damage. And again, it's only what looks like a bare swipe against the armor, but like, again, quailing as if, the worst thing in the world has ever happened to him. And so, Ariadne. Ah, I see. Well,
yeah.
it is Ariadne's turn.
Yeah.
You
she
can
had
hold
to
it
step
until
away.
the rest of the round.
I think that's what I'm gonna do is oh, welcome back.
Oh, she just got back.
Hey, sorry about that.
It's
worries.
okay.
It is, you literally just got to your turn.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So what's happened? Okay, so Lyronus is right there. There's another twig boy after Haelum. Koshi, other one is also dead.
The other two that are near the one guard are actually in the process of attacking him and have both actually landed blows at this point.
Let me see. Let me do a quick measurement. What's 30? Is that too close? You know what? Fudge it. Can I move over there to that point?
Yeah. It's your choice where you want to move.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Let me just roll something real quick. All right. Yep. She's doing all right. So. Okay. All right. I'll move her. Cause originally I had her roll, like a little, kind of like Constitution thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then because friend nearby rolls again, okay, she can move. Because if she didn't get out of that, she rolled a 3 originally. So if she didn't even get out of that 3, then she would have stayed put and like, fight or flight or freeze response.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Lyronus being there nearby, being like, right, I have friends, it's okay. So, yeah. So let's see, run there. let's see, who's the worst offender between these two twig boys? Who slapped the guard?
They've both actually landed hits, and for about roughly the same amount.
Oh, okay. Then, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'll get the one that's closer to the guard. That one that's, like, right on top of the guard. We're gonna do another, fudger.
Damn.
Oh, I don't even fucking need to roll a damn fucking thing. In fact, you know what I'm gonna do something real quick. Guess what? You don't have to fucking choose. They both go up immediately in flames.
Jesus.
You rolled a nat 20. I am going to fucking give that to you.
Hell yeah.
He stole my kill. God damn.
Congratulations. That was pretty damn good. All right, let's see. And so that one's removed from rotation. So that was your turn, Ariadne. Congratulations. Unless you've got a bonus action or anything you want to take.
Cool. I think that's it. I don't think there's any like bonus action. Yeah. No, she needs to be in a different form to do bonus action. So yeah, we're good. We're good. She's gonna be like she'll live. Let's go.
You did so much. Like, I even did a quick little side roll to see about like whether or not that just spread to the twig blight right next to the one that you attacked, and the dice roll confirmed that yes, in fact, you did.
Damn.
So the two are now down. They both went disintegrating up in flames, which the guard immediately yelps in terror of. So, Koshi.
Well, since I don't need to do a cunning action or stuff, I can't do another one of those spells, so I'm just going to go ahead and use a short bow, because I believe Bolts from the Grave requires a cunning action before use.
Double checking. Immediately after you use your cunning action. Yeah, so it does appear to require a cunning action to be able to do it.
Yeah, so I'll just do a short bow on the twig boy who is attacking Haelum.
Okay. Now, unfortunately, that misses. In fact, I'm even gonna say, like, again, to compound with Haelum having pierced right through it, the bow, the arrow also manages to go right through a gap in the branches.
Koshi's got shit aim today.
They're having a time. So what I'm even gonna do, because Lyronus's action is at the end of the round, and the only other thing with an action in this particular round is another that thing. Sorry, I'm being fairly vague. Is
Twig
another one of the
blight.
twig blights. There we go. At this point, some of the other bushes in the area start stirring.
It's never that simple.
It's never that simple. And let's see.
Bring it on.
They start writhing up from the ground and, like, hissing in anger at you. At all of you. And now I need to add them to the order. And I'm going to shorthand something real quick. I'm going to add them all on basically the same turn.
Yep.
But I'm just going to, like... Or what am I doing? Alright. Add turn. Add turn. Add turn. Add turn. And... I think that's all of it. There was the 4 that came up, right?
Mm-hmm.
4 that popped up. Cool. That should be all of them. So I'm going to then roll for what order they come in. Ooh.
This should be good.
This will still be applying to next round, but like, and, alright. So then moving these up into the appropriate zone for them. Come on. You finicky little bitch. Alright, sorry. It's just getting this all nice and organized. But this
No
even kind of
worries.
works. You pissed him off. Alright, so they all kind of come out as Lyronus is preparing to happily turn. In fact, I'm even going to say that he started making his movement in this direction to try his hand at taking down this thing. And he's at this point, he's got like a fucking swag in his walk after having annihilated the last one in shame. And so he's going to do another vicious mockery on his end. And it did not save.
I just realized I could have used my D12 on that last shot, and I'm mad.
Aww.
You could have, but hey, now you have a whole new group of people and you still have
That's
it at your
true.
disposal. So, this thing, again, okay, so what does Lyronus say to this thing? And it's like, the only reason you're dodging anything is because you have no substance to you. This kills the twig.
Good.
And so he's like all happy, like I guess even semi-literally glowing at himself at being so clever. And then the other twig blights all stir up from their places around the field and he just like almost immediately visibly deflates.
Oh my god, bitch.
So I think to that extent, realizing the situation for what it is and having actually seen Haelum with what she was doing, she also gets a bardic inspiration from him.
Thanks.
So you have a d12 to roll whenever you want to re-roll something. Or not when you want to re-roll, but when you want to add to your roll. So, that is a dead twig blight. And so Haelum.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. This one is still up, right? Or is that one of the new ones?
That's one of the new ones.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, it just
So
popped
we
into
can-
existence.
We can very obviously see the new ones showing up.
Yeah, like, they would still be probably in the process. Like, it was like as Lyronus was doing his vicious mockery that they all started hissing into life again.
Gotcha. Then, let's see. 5, 10, 15... Ooh, actually I'll do 5, 10, 15, 20. She's gonna basically, like, be twirling around them, but meta, my brain is like, oh, but flanking. So, not that there's any flank right now, but she is going to attempt to use the rapier against this twig boy. Yes!
Alright, roll your damage. Yes, it dies.
I know we always have this conversation. I will say that, like, maybe I'm incorrect when I think this, but, like, I always see rapiers as both a stabbing slashing slash.
Yeah.
Like, I imagine you could still attempt to slash with it. It's just not as strong as a sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine instead of just simply stabbing this time, she'll stab and then slash. So it's still a piercing, but she's able to, like, oh, you have to actually commit to the damage.
What I could even see it being, because she's also moving at the same time, like doing her little twirl around, is that in the process wrenching the rapier to the side, so like piercing, and then wrenching it to basically break apart the twigs as they're all together.
Exactly.
Oh, like
And
twisting the knife.
literally, yeah. So the thing dissolves around her rapier, crumbling to the ground. And I'm just gonna give this as a fucking little, like, bonus because you rolled a nat 20. Basically, in the moment, a bit of breeze blows your hair and dress in this cool billowing effect, adding to your flourish.
Hell yeah. Also,
Hell yeah.
since I haven't yet, and it seems like Ariadne is the only one without one, I'm gonna give her a bardic inspiration.
Hey!
Thanks for my life.
It's almost like I'm a bard or some shit.
Aw.
Inspiration all around.
Inspiration for everyone!
Her inspiration die is lower. I can't remember what it is.
I think it would be a D... It would be a D something, yes. It starts
I think it's
at...
a D6.
Yeah, D6 to start.
Ooh, okay.
Cool.
So
I
you
was
have-
just like, it'd be really cool. Yeah, there it is in the description. I couldn't find it. Like the one. Okay, so you get a D6.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
So you get an extra d6 to add to your turn when it's your turn. Alright, so next this bitch is going to make an attack of some kind. What's he gonna be doing? Yeah, okay. So this bitch running over to Ariadne, because again, this bitch incinerated 2 of its clan right in front of it. So it is anger. It is angy. And it misses.
Understandable. You're angry.
It was so upset that it actually tried to swipe before it was even within range, and so ends up actually missing her.
See, at this point, I'm just more concerned that all these twig boys have inner ear infections, and that's why they're so irritated. They can't even walk properly.
What, bitch?
That's, wait, where's... I need to keep track of where I set this shit up. Okay, that's where that is. Alright. This one is running over, but can't move any further than that. And so is only able to make it that far on their turn. This one... Let's see. Can't move all that far either. But yeah, angry at this one who incinerating so many of its bros. Hey Ariadne, you pissed off a whole bunch of them, sorry.
Understandable. My self-loathing has gotten so strong. It's spread to...
No!
Okay.
No, I was just like, Haelum being like, no, bitch, you're fantastic. And that's your bardic inspiration.
God.
Work, bitch.
Let's do this. Okay. There's so many of you. She probably... Is the guard over there, like, tied up? Can they not just run away on their own?
They are paralyzed with fear.
You are still paralyzed with fear? Come on, man. Okay.
Come on, it's been like a 6-second
Wow.
round. Get with it.
Wow, Ariadne is very judgy. Wow.
No, that is Jane. That's all Jane.
No. I'm just picturing, like, Ariadne, like, counting the ones that are running towards her, like, oh gosh, there's so many of you now. And then looking over at the cards. You're not gonna do anything? You're just gonna stand there? Gods, put yourself together. Anyway.
Like Jane from the clouds. Codfish, damn it, just move!
But freaking Ariadne, like, looking at the guard, like, telepathically, like, please, I'm begging you, move. Okay, but, like, yeah, no, actually, out loud, she'll be like, if you can get yourself to safety, I think that would be a quite a good idea, because, okay, she turns around and, this has been working, so I shrugs.
That's good. I will even say, for me, did you address it to both of them?
Yeah.
Roll a persuasion. I'm not going to count it as an action against what you're doing this turn.
Okay, cool.
Now that's a free action.
Yay.
That's a free action in this case, but just roll your persuasion. Unfortunately, you convinced neither of them to move.
Understandable. They saw fire before their eyes because of her.
If anything, I'm even going to say that's probably why they don't respond to Ariadne, is because the fire that she just spewed over in that direction kind of exacerbated their fears as they already were.
It's like, I'm not gonna listen to the lady who just set those things on fire. What the fuck?
That's a forest hazard. Anyway. So which one were you...
I know these twig blights are bad, but jeez.
Which one were you attacking?
Oh, the one that's closest to her? The top left one.
Yeah.
Top left or top right?
I'll point to it. Or
that one?
This one. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Roll your damage.
Okay, cool. Damblage,
You just click on Produce Flame.
Oh, right, thank you.
Interestingly enough...
You know what? That makes sense.
Shoot.
Wait, can I
Yeah, you
roll
can...
the inspiration die?
Unfortunately, you can, but not for damage, I don't
Not for
think.
damage. Okay, then I'll save that for next time.
Yeah, it says...
Ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. The attack roll is the 2-hit part, not the damage.
Yeah. So you can't add to the damage, but you do still hit it, and I will say that it doesn't look happy about that. It does actually cry out in pain, and like it looks a little extra crispy. Like the flame definitely catches, washes over it, but like it bats at itself wildly with its branches and then is able to put it out, but it's definitely pretty badly burned at this point. And I can even see that the reason why it didn't quite go as well is because she was calling over her shoulder to guards who weren't listening to her, so her focus was like, oh no, what's wrong with them? And then not able to commit to the produce flame attack. If that makes sense?
That makes sense, and it even makes sense too in the fact that like the other one worked too well, so it was like was not expecting that kind of.
Yes, Ariadne becomes jumpy, like, oh no, I don't want to do that again.
Self-conscious about how explosive.
God.
Koshi.
Okay, so question: when these twig boys die, do they just completely turn to dust, or are there bits of like bark and sticks left behind?
If they die from fire, they're all completely disintegrated. If they die from like being broken apart, like by the rapiers or something like that, or like for example, the vicious mockeries killing them, there are probably still like bits and pieces of twigs and whatnot crumpled around them.
Because I believe the one that's next to Koshi was killed by Lyronus's vicious mockery, correct?
Yes.
Would I hypothetically be able to use cunning action to hide behind those bits of Twig Boy so I could get another shot at using bolts from the grave?
No, unfortunately, they're small enough in the first place that even collapsed as they fall apart, they just completely flatten against the ground.
There's no cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not enough to be significant cover.
So I guess that was my one shot during this encounter then.
So you're not throwing away your shot?
Ooh,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I literally cannot. There's no way, because they're all so close, I have no excuse to use the cunning action to sprint, so I'm going to have to go with one of the other ones. So,
is the issue a cover? Because there is a tent nearby. If you hide in the tent, maybe...
It's true, but I think the actual bolts from the grave requires the creatures to be within, 30 feet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, yeah, even, that potential partial cover, unfortunately...
It's an environmental disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed that my first attempt to do this cool spell just...
You'll have more attempts.
Yeah, so in that case, I'll just have Koshi go over here and do a rapier on this twig boy.
On this one?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that hits. I guess roll your damage.
Jeez.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, similarly, you get it at such an angle that you are able to get it to break fully apart.
All right.
Cool. And I'm gonna do a thing again, because y'all are doing so good in this fight. You're doing a fantastic job, sweetie. So, because again, this is Lyronus' turn. All of a sudden, one of the trees standing at the edge of the forest suddenly starts literally roaring to life.
Oh, joy.
Twisting itself in such a way so that it starts pulling its roots out from the ground and is not moving just yet, but I'm going
It's
to...
fucking Treebeard.
Yeah, a little bit. In fact, I'll even give you guys I'm gonna rest roll real quick, see how this one's doing. Okay, so this one got that thing, and so I can plop that right in there. And actually, I'll do it when the next turn actually starts, when Lyronus takes his action. But you guys can also roll a nature check to be able to potentially identify what this is. But meanwhile, so again, Lyronus again is very much like the, haha, we're doing it, we're succeeding. And so he moves his way right over here. And And that was... Okay, yeah, he's definitely within his range. In fact, I'm going to pop him right here. And again, he's like having the time of his life, just having fun with this. And so again, with these two right here, one of them, so he turns to this one, and basically says, you know, you would have been better off running away, but instead, you're stupid enough to stick around. Ooh. Interestingly enough, this one saves. And let's see, what does that actually do with Vicious Mockery again? If they save, is it an all or nothing one?
Depends on the spells.
Yeah.
Vicious Mockery?
It's Vicious Mockery. It looks like it's an all or nothing one.
Yeah, it's all or nothing. If it's a cantrip, they're usually all or nothing.
Yeah. So he does that, and I love that it's literally him being a cocky little shit that it doesn't work. The thing saved on the fucking DC for that, and so it just glares over at Lyronus at that, and Lyronus has like anime sweat drop moment of like the awkward grin, like he was kind of smirking and now it's the oh shit kind of grin.
Yeah,
because he just done the fucked up. So
He thought he could roast them.
we are on a new round, and that I was gonna say roasting them's Ariadne's job apparently. So everyone roll nature to see if you can figure out what the fuck this tree is.
Yeah.
okay.
Lyronus is too upset by not having affected the twig blight. Okay, Haelum, you are I'm gonna jokingly suggest you were distracted by how badly Lyronus just fucking failed a Vicious Mockery.
I was even gonna say this matches the roll from last time where technically Haelum doesn't know what a twig blight is. She wouldn't know what this is either, most likely. Living in nature doesn't mean you're gonna know everything, so I think it's fair to say that she just doesn't know what these are.
And that's also fair. But yes, Koshi and Ariadne, you know that what you're looking at, this tree, and in fact, I mean, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger, but it's not gonna necessarily change much over the... Let me select the thing, thank you. There we go. It's a tree, so it looks big. But, what you can tell about this thing is that it is called an awakened tree. Basically, a spell has been cast on this thing. Something, it's like awakening or something like that, or awaken plant or something along those lines. I'd have to actually double check what the spell is that causes that. But anyway, the tree appears sickly, covered in fungi, and its movements are very slow and deliberate. What you can basically tell about this thing is, well, let me even just pull up the fucking thing, the description of this fucking thing is an ordinary tree given sentience and mobility by the awaken spell. So, that's what you know about it. Is that is basically a tree, but now it's alive and given consciousness because someone or something did a magical spell of it on kind. And yes, as a matter of fact, you can do that, Griffin.
Okay. Yeah, again, secret, sneaky.
So on your turn, you can do that. Okay.
All right.
Just real quickly, the information that you told us, she'll try to relay it to the others as succinctly and quickly as possible. Is that possible to tell them?
Yeah, like even just quickly, because I consider that to be a free action that can happen largely at any point during a round within reason. But like, yeah, it's just like, that's an awakened tree. It's a tree, etc. Go ahead and phrase it however you want, or if you don't want to.
Yeah, I think for now, quick summary, and then hold my turn because.
Well, it's not your turn yet.
I think she meant because she has to BRB.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hold her turn anyway. Okay. All right.
That's what she's saying.
All right. Fair. Okay. So, Haelum, it is your turn.
Yeah, so let's see. The tree is closer to me. And then next twig boys are near Lyronus. Y'all got the twig boys. I think that Haelum's probably going to get closer to the group while also attacking the tree, because she knows that this is not the same thing as taking out one enemy at a time. It's much larger. They need to work together, so she's gonna move. I would say, ooh, actually, well, her focus will be on the tree. There are 2 twig blights here, but she's probably gonna move to be right next to Lyronus here.
Okay.
And she's going to... well, that's not gonna work on a tree. I don't think that's gonna work. Yeah, most of my spells are not gonna work except for like Dissonant Whispers. Unless you think that that wouldn't.
What does... I mean, I'm just... I'm gonna poke at the,
I can post it for you. There you go.
Cool, thanks.
It's still Psychic Wisdom, like with Vicious Mockery. So if Vicious Mockery worked, I think Dissonant Whispers would work.
Yeah. Okay, so it would be a spell save against the 13 there. See how that works. See if this, it does not save. So, click on damage.
Damage time. Oh, only a 7. Oh well.
Yay.
That's still better than nothing. So instead of doing the normal yelling at someone to take damage, she's just like kind of doing her elven murmuring.
And like, let's see, the only one. So like, basically, it's like this haunted, twisted melody that I can't say fills the ears, but fills the mind of the tree. And
if it has sentience, it can think bad thoughts.
And basically, you see it as it's still twisting into life. Even, it suddenly cringes in pain and seems to be like the branches curling up, almost like in the same sort of gesticulation of someone who's moving to hold their head, or like a plant that, like one of those plants that curl up into themselves, or even like animals that do the same sort of thing, like the what is it, the coral or something that sloops back into itself. It makes a similar sort of motion in response to that attack. So, I mean, nicely done. Alright. Twig blight boy. I just suddenly went fucking roll for meta and Nettie. Ooh.
This campaign has many doors, Ed boy.
Don't... So, this one's mad. And...
Mad.
Actually, because this one attacked the fucking tree. And unfortunately, it hits. It rolled over Haelum's AC, so she actually takes 3 damage. Manages to swipe at her from behind, so like as she does her spell, this then suddenly connects with her in the back.
Yup.
So took the 3 damage it was. This one is gonna go after Lyronus, because he's standing, because it made the attempt against him, and is like, bitch, what did you say to me? Ooh. And also manages to land a hit on him. He's just so much in shock. Like, I could even say, like, he's in shock at having missed his attack, with a Vicious Mockery, and then, the thing roaring to life behind him, and then Haelum getting attacked, and he's just so discombobulated out of all of it that it just throws him off enough that he just manages to get hit by the fucking twig blight. So, see if I can do math again. There we go. Okay. There's math. I'm good at math. Alright. And... Alright, we still are not quite back. Ariadne is holding her turn.
Yeah.
And so there's now time for the tree to make an attack. Let me see. Yeah, now this thing is, okay. Did not like what Haelum just did. Let's see. Wisdom saving throw. It takes 3d6 and must immediately use its reaction if available to move as far as its speed allows it to move. What is its... Let me just double check what its movement speed is. I missed that part because I don't like reading things. It doesn't move very fast, and I'm even going to say, given what I know about it, it cannot move all of that fast. So let's see. It only moves this far away in that moment.
Fair enough.
Okay, so still, however, at this point, finally getting back to its senses after having moved away, now it's mad at Haelum.
Oof.
And so steps closer, and there's like this big thudding whump as its step hits the ground. And then, even at that distance, it makes a... it, like, this big tree branch then comes swinging in Haelum's direction. And... what's her... AC? Okay. Yeah, that unfortunately hits. Let me roll. Yeah, that does in fact hit. Okay, let's see. Okay. 5 damage to Haelum.
Okay.
So the thing hits her. So she gets hit behind by the one twig blight. And then from the front, this thing makes another swipe in her direction. And yes, it does have that range of reach, too.
Yeah, that's pretty... Yep.
So it's a big one, and it did a hit.
This is kind of almost the exact setup I used for the Twig Boys in my game, too. So I'm just like, oh, that makes sense. An Awakened Tree shows up. That's valid.
That makes sense.
Where the Twig Boys go, a big boy will also follow.
So, does
Chonker.
Welcome back. Does Ariadne want to take her turn now?
Sure, if it's okay. I'm so sorry about the sudden.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Let's see who's left here. There's that chonker and that chonker. And then the big chonker.
So there's the Twigses and then the chonk.
Yes, and both Twig Boys have successfully landed blows against Haelum and Lyronus.
Yep.
Oh, bitch. Okay.
As well as the big chonker landing one on Haelum as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
Haelum and Lyronus got fucking juggled.
Bruh, that's so cringe. That's so cringe. Let's see, where can she move? Okay, I think she'll have an easier vantage point around here, maybe? So, that's 20 feet. I guess I'll move her there. Okay. And that should be close enough to, like, do the flamey thing. Okay.
Yes.
You
can do it at 30 feet away, I think.
Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on.
You may not want to. I was gonna say you may not want to move in range of the thing.
Yeah. Let me. Okay. So I think I was here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let me do the pointy thing one more time. So.
You can literally hit it from where you are.
Okay. Then in that case, I think she'll move a little closer, but not that close then. Almost a stomp, 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 and then... shoot. I clicked twice. Go with the first one.
Unfortunately, because going with the first one, because it double-clicked, it does not hit.
Wait, you do have your D12 if you want to add that.
Yeah, if you want to do that.
To clarify, that one's only a D6.
D6.
Yeah, that one's only a D6, right? Sorry,
okay,
it's Haelum and Koshi that have the D12. So I will see. I will even say save the D6.
Okay. Yeah, that makes okay.
And in
then
fact,
I'll save the D6
because because that is a nat 1, what I'm even gonna do, especially because I'm even gonna use the second one as a basis, is that it was a very hot flame, but because there was so much power into it, maybe because Ariadne was pissed off that this thing was hurting her friends, that it ended up burning too quickly and just popped in her hand. Oof. And did 3 damage to her, specifically like in her hand. So she like summoned the flame, but then it just popped and just kind of burst right next to her and ended up sizzling her a little bit.
Okay, let me remove 3, and that even makes sense with the Constitution rolls I've been, or Wisdom, whatever rolls I've been doing in the background. So, thank you. Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Lyronus.
That checks out.
Well, hold on. Koshi has not had their turn.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Koshi.
Yeah.
Take your turn.
I'm gonna do a thing. You know what? So Koshi sees this thing, this tree, its mighty roar, as it makes its way out of the forest and sort of draws everyone's attention. And for a bit, Koshi sort of goes wide-eyed. Like, they know what this thing is, but there's some inherent quality about it, like, outside of just knowing what it is, that sort of keeps them, like, entranced for, let's say, a good 10 seconds or so. And suddenly, they sort of pop back to the situation, take a few deep breaths, and then realize, oh, this thing is doing a number on the team. We need to do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, let me count, 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. I'm actually going to use this as an excuse to use cunning action to have Koshi move behind it. And
teleports behind you.
Pretty much. And do another attempt at bolts from the grave. Hopefully a more successful one.
Add your D12 if you want to.
You know what? I will do that. I'm gonna roll a D12.
Okay,
so that's 14.
That hits. Congratulations.
Okay.
That's why you get these things.
Thank you, Lyronus. So I'm gonna roll for damage.
It's still damage.
And it's necrotic damage at that.
So it's gone permanently minus the 2 there, at least for a little while.
Yeah, so again, just like to paint a picture, Koshi sees this happening after sort of waking up from their tranced moment, runs over, basically like Naruto running, and sort of like jabs their sword not like into the thing, but sort of in its direction, and casts the spell successfully.
Cool.
Yo.
Now it's Lyronus's turn. And like after being disappointed and then hurt and then seeing friends getting hurt, he's going to use his turn to do a healing word. Which I don't think there needs to be a spell save on that, but yes, is going to be casting it actually at a level 2. And so let me do, let's see. So that's going to be, okay. This is going to be fucking reveal of sorts, I guess. So that is, let's just say, Haelum, any damage that you just took is completely gone.
Like he's healing me?
Yeah, he's healing Haelum, like, because he's in the moment, after getting overwhelmed, after getting hit, and then seeing Haelum get, like, punched in the fucking face by a tree, he actually kind of panics, and then basically he does healing word. Like, I could even see it being literally, like, he, yeah, so, like, he basically, like, shouts Haelum, and then, like, the spell completely suffuses her and returns her to full health.
I think at that, too, like, she's actually going to be really shocked by that reaction. Like, in her mind, she's like, oh, yeah, I can take these hits. No problem, no problem. What? Wait, what?
And he's like
She's gonna
genuinely,
stare at Lyronus for just a moment.
yeah, as in like he's literally like, Haelum, no, like, like, oh no, like he's genuinely upset.
Yes.
And distressed and even
Aw.
semi-panicked. And he's like, no, you're not allowed to get hurt. And so immediate healing.
Mm-hmm.
She'll say thank you too after a moment of just being stunned by it.
Yes. And Haelum, it is your turn.
Her turn, hell yeah. I think what'll happen then is, dang it, I wanted to flank the tree, but I think in response to Lyronus helping her, she's going to do her little spin move, flank this guy. And does that mean I get advantage with a rapier attack?
Yep.
Cool. Well, still works.
That one's getting to us.
Jesus.
Oh, did you
I was-
did you hit the rapier that was the 24 the first time?
Yeah, I was gonna say like, oh man, it's a good thing I had advantage, but the second roll was the shitty one, so it's like, okay, well, I mean,
Yeah, you still got
would
the
have been
first.
fine either way.
Yeah.
So, roll your
Uh,
damage. Alright, the thing.
Nice.
Thing's fucking dead.
So like in that moment of just being stunned, like, thanks for healing me. Spins, kills the twig blight next to you.
That's literally it. Very nice. And I think he even, like, smiles appreciatively, like, mostly, like, it's a mix of relieved that she got healed, and also, like, appreciation that she immediately helped with that.
Yeah.
And then,
Aw.
to that effect, what does this motherfucker want to do? This one wants to do something. It did not like... Actually, it's afraid of you. It's gonna go after you, Ariadne, now that you're close enough to it, so it's gonna
Understandable.
scoot over here. I was gonna take a swipe at you. Ooh, oh no. I'm guessing you have...
Armor class 13.
Yeah, unfortunately, it hits.
No worries.
And, 5 damage.
Okay, let me take that 5 out. 4, 5. Alright. Cool.
But hey, good news, it's your turn. So, like, it charges in your direction, and what I could even see it basically doing is that it actually manages with its branches to, like, stab into your arm.
Ouch.
Yeah, like, that's not...
That's not nice.
Yeah, so, like, in the charging, it just, like, stabs right in, basically. With the branches in the tree, and basically a really, really nasty giant splinter.
Oof. Okay. I think to that then... I think... Okay. I'm just looking at the, since... Okay, I can also attack. Would it count as hurling it if, like, if it's grabbing me already? Can I still use that spell?
What? Again? Sorry.
Oh, can I still use Produce Flame on it, even though it's, like, stabbing me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
There's
yeah,
no, I don't think there's a reason why I wouldn't.
Okay, cool. Then, in that case, yeah, she's... I'm just gonna make her do that.
Yeah.
Yes, that works, and as a matter of fact, because I know that that's going to be, doubled... Give me just a second, sorry. Just doing a thing here. Alright. Just doing a thing real quick. What are you doing? Stop that. Stop doing that thing! Okay, sorry. So, it was on this one, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that, it completely incinerates. So, like, even with it stabbing you in the moment, I could even see, like, a gesture of summoning the flame ended up actually, like, dislodging it from you. And then the fire, like, you even just grab it with the same arm that it attacked. and just it goes up in flames and just goes and is dead.
Oh, yeah, just like
Damn.
wincing through the ow. It hurts, but like fudge taking, desperate to like do something. Explosion.
Oh yeah. Also, but before we move on to the big trees attack, I have a quick technical question.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, like it says in the bolts from the grave that that the attack and damage rolls are a 1d6 plus your dex modifier. I forgot to add the dex modifier to the damage. So, would it be all right to add my dex modifier onto the damage I dealt during the last turn?
Sure.
Okay, so that would bring it up from a 2 to a 5.
Okay. I can make that adjustment.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Apologies.
No problem. So be minus that. Alright, put that at... No.
Mm.
No.
Okay. So yeah, it did more damage than you anticipated it. So, meanwhile, this thing, the tree, is angry.
Yeah.
And then we
Yes.
have a few more bushes that decided to pop to life.
Jesus.
Oh yes. It's gonna be worth it.
Dang.
I feel like this is going to be a trend until we take down Big Boy here.
Maybe. But yeah, speaking of big boy, let's see, actually, yep, that's within range. So, did not like what Koshi did.
Uh-huh.
Did not like what Koshi did one bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. Oh no.
Oh boy.
It rolled a nat 20.
Oh joy. I was partially hoping for this. I'm not gonna lie.
So imagine, after it's made its swing and all of that, crying out in pain, just takes the same branch that hit Haelum before and turns around in a walloping motion and smacks the fuck out of Koshi. And let me roll what that damage is. Oof.
Mm-hmm. Am I gonna have to re-roll for a character? To put things into perspective, Koshi has a max of 15 HP.
Okay, no, but it does hit you for 10 damage.
Well,
Or,
down to
wait,
5.
no. Wait. Sorry. Incorrect. He's down. I added it incorrectly. It's 16 plus 2, not 10 plus 2. So that's actually, it's 18. He's down, or they're down, rather, and at minus...
-3.
-3. Not doing fantastic at the moment, but you're going to be able to get a death save in a moment. But basically, the thing hits you so hard. Like, it doesn't just wallop. It, like, arced it up into the air and hammers Koshi into the ground.
Well,
No.
that tracks.
No.
So,
Of course, the one time I don't flank with him.
I'm sorry.
Haelum voice, I look away for 1 second. For
Well, I mean,
that
there were two things. She made the decision to help Lyronus in that moment, and then like looks over and is like, "Damn it, I can't be in two places at once."
Oh yeah, and I will say Koshi's intention was to draw the thing's attention away from the rest of the group, so they succeeded.
And I love that
you
of
were being
all
selfless.
things, of all of things, of course, it is the tree that is lined with fungus that manages to slap the fuck out of Koshi and do this damage to them.
Jesus.
So you roll, I think it's just a straight D20?
Yeah, let me see here.
Yeah,
Just
death
straight
saves are
D20.
straight D20s.
if we heal them.
Oof, that's a
That
failure.
is one fail.
Well,
One fail.
That is one fail. But thankfully,
I get 3 attempts, right? Was that
Three,
it?
Yes.
or-
yes, three.
Oh,
You
okay.
get 3 attempts, and it's so just mark yourself for 1 failure on your death saves on your sheet. But that's 1 failure. But I mean, like, let's be real. Do you think that Lyronus is gonna let his new buddy die?
I don't know. Let's find out.
None
Koshi
of us
hasn't
would let them
exactly been
die.
a saint to him.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, where's the death saves on the sheet? Because I've never had to use them.
In the middle, underneath, right next to where it says hit dice, you'll see 3 boxes. There are 3 little bubbles next to successes and failures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like this.
There you go.
Look where your hit points are.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, go down. There you go.
Yeah. So just mark it
To
with the
explain
one,
that.
the 1 fail. Yeah.
Yeah, to explain that, you get as many death
sorry.
saves as it.
Disregard that. So
Yeah.
there we go. Okay, yeah, I hit the wrong thing.
Yeah, you get as many death save rolls as you can before one of those rows is filled in. Success means you're stable. Death means failure means you're dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and in fact, let me just even go back to his sheet because he's not gonna fuck around with this. It's gonna be to 4, and he's gonna knock that to 4. So let's see. So then, okay, so if Lyronus was panicked at Haelum taking damage, seeing Koshi get hammered into the ground, Lyronus, he's already a pale boy, but like he's always had like a golden sheen to his skin just a little bit. He pales. So he's now all white boy. And then again in the same sort of vein, like actually crying out, Koshi, like, you know, very, very passionate, impassioned. If I were actually voice acting, would probably break my mic kind of thing. But does also a healing word in your direction for, let's see, because it was, how does that work again? It's the plus, okay, so, and how many hit points have you gone down? Okay, yes, you are brought back fully to life. And
So
with
like all the way back up to 15?
all the way back up to 15.
Shit.
So, like, in this panicked moment, it's basically, again, glowing with white energy. It's almost like as if the glow that he normally kind of has around him, like his normal, you know, cheerful energy, ends up actually, like, transferring to him and his panic for Koshi's well-being.
Yeah.
And so Koshi gets hammered into the ground, twitches once, and then Lyronus panics and is just immediately, no, you will stand up! And so, almost like, it's like when you get hit and, like, it's completely black for a few seconds after you, like, you hit your head or something like that. There's a few seconds of Koshi not having any cognizance of their, that they wouldn't even be aware of having been knocked to the ground, never mind the semi-crater around them. They sort of just, in one moment, facing this tree, and the next they're on the ground in this deep crater with, like, a weird residual ache, like as if they had just been very badly injured, but, like, they don't have any memory of that even happening. It was, like, an instant where everything changed. And then the Fire Nation attacked, aka the tree. Alright.
Interesting.
So, but Lyronus being good boy, was immediately, no, my friend, you will not take my new friend! And I think actually at this, Lyronus, you know this entire time how cheerful and happy he's been? How bright and smiley and maybe a little bit sad?
Yeah.
Small little detail. He now looks angry. He's actually
Understandable.
He's actually angry.
He's pissed.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Haelum.
Yeah. There's couple twig boys, but let's see. I'm gonna move Haelum to about here. No flanking, obviously, but because she's gonna try to make her way to Koshi as well.
Mhm.
But on the way is going to stop and try to take out the twig blight. So
That's also fair.
do the rapier attack.
That hits. Roll your damage.
Woohoo! Dabblage.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's similar to before, where you were running past and you could
figured
kind
out
of
the kill the blight. Sorry.
Yeah, no, the kill the blight maneuver, which is, or the kill the twig blight maneuver, which is twist it as you're running.
Yeah,
And
she
so-
keeps doing spin. She does the spinning around. She doesn't have to, but she does.
I mean,
Yay.
honestly, I can't imagine her not pirouetting while attacking. So
She has to.
yeah.
Okay. So you did that. Good. That one's dead. So Ariadne.
Okay. This is. Did Big Tree get any damage, like,
Oh, yes.
at all?
It's taken some damage, yes.
Oh yeah, 5 from Koshi and 9 from Haelum.
Sean,
Okay.
the boy was like, "You will not go quietly into that dark night." Absolutely.
The 9 damage was on the twig blight.
Oh,
Or
okay.
are you talking
I'm
about
sorry.
earlier damage?
I apologize.
Just to clarify,
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the correction.
she did damage with the dissonant whispers earlier, but I don't remember how much that was.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. I can check. Dissonant Whispers. I think that was 7 damage.
There you go.
Ooh, okay.
So 7 plus 5.
Yeah, because I'm trying to decide whether or not to just focus in on the other twig boy that's coming over this way, or like if she should be focused on the tree or that kind of thing. Because, like, is it worth it to spend an action to spend a round doing wild shape and then attacking the next turn after that, or should I just keep trying to attack with produce flame?
That is your call.
Yeah. Because we still got 2 twig boys left, and then. Yeah. How's the tree looking? Is the tree still looking good, or is it looking like it's taking a hidden?
Well, it already looked like it was pretty sickly to begin with, and it was moving pretty slowly, but now it has taken a little bit of hits and damages and all of that. It does not look like it's... It looks like it's still okay, though. It looks like it's, like, it got pissed off.
Oh, okay. It's still like it looks like it's doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's dicey, but fudge it. I'll do it. Can I take a I'll move closer to this one to like kind of distract this twig boy and be like, hey, can you like come in my direction and not like Lyronus or Haelum? But then also as a way to like try to see if she can, yeah. So maybe somewhere like here or here.
I did not put that squarely on the square. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're trying to call its attention, your choice between, let me see. In fact, roll, your choice between animal handling or nature to convince it to turn its attention to you instead of anyone else.
Okay, I'm going animal handling. I'm slightly better than that.
Oof. Unfortunately, you do not... I mean, it might still end up attacking you anyway, but I will say that, unfortunately, you do not appear to have changed its mind at all. But I will say you still have an action. That was your free action.
Okay, cool. I'd like to use my action to use wild shape.
Okay.
Oh gosh, I haven't even done this for Prince, so I'm like, oh, hold on. Okay, and then, instead of turning into an animal, I'm gonna use the wild shape to take on the the starry form thing.
Ooh. Yeah, I saw that.
Uh,
I saw that as a thing that you can do as a Circle of Stars druid.
yeah, and my justification for that, or my reason why I'm kind of going for that, is because one of the modes is, that you can do there, oh, whatchamacallit, she could do archer, which if if when she shoots arrows, if it hits, we get a radiant damage equal to 1d8 plus wisdom modifier. So I feel like that could help take it down sooner and not bring anyone else to level 0.
Yeah,
Um,
I can dig it. All right, so you're taking this turn to do Wild Shape.
yeah, and taking this turn to do wild shape with my action, and then bonus action instead of turning it into an animal, doing the starry form thing, and then I can't do anything more after that, I think.
Yeah, that's your action. So
It's a gamble, but hopefully maybe that will get the attention of the twig boy. We'll see.
I mean, you suddenly become shiny, so yes. All right.
I can even see that being as seeing Koshi go down, seeing everyone seeing Haelum getting punched in the face, seeing like everything kind of like, oh no, things are going to shit, things are going to shit, things are going to shit, and then yeah.
So
Anyway,
on the tree's turn, seeing Koshi getting, I'm even gonna say for the moment Koshi is presently prone because you were knocked down. You have not had a chance to stand up. So
Koshi's definitely out of it.
So in order to stand up, I think you have to use half of your movement speed in order to stand up when it comes to your turn. I'm just saying for the flavor text of the moment, Koshi is still presently down. And the tree, pissed off that this bird that hurt it is moving around fucking behind it, is now alive again. It wants to make them alivened, but in the
double tapping.
In the attempt to try and swat Koshi again, I'm even just gonna say, because it rolled so poorly, Koshi is able to roll out of the way, assuming that Koshi rolls while seeing the tree branch coming back down on them again.
I don't think Koshi would be all that eager to be made a pancake again.
No. So you see the tree branch coming this time and are able to successfully roll out of the way, and I'll even count that towards, like, standing up kind of motion, maybe.
Damn. Okay.
So now you have... What's your normal speed?
30.
Okay, so you have 15 movement speed right now available to you, as well as your action and so on and so forth.
All right. So,
It is your turn.
Koshi sort of comes back to, I guess, consciousness after a bit. They were out of it. They don't know what happened. The last thing they knew, they'd cast a spell now, and then they were like half planted in the ground. Then they saw this giant root coming, and they were not planning on being fully buried, so they rolled out of the way as best they could. They're still sore. They don't know what's happening, but they know this thing is still here, and they are none too pleased about that. So I am thinking that just in sheer frustration, not even like using words, Koshi lets out this sort of like ungodly like burb screech and goes at this thing with a rapier attack.
Cool.
Well, I already used my D12, so that ain't happening.
Yeah, wait, did you? Yeah, okay. Yeah, unfortunately, that does not hit. And actually, as a rapier, well, anyway, it does not hit. I'll even say, like, you start to go off of it, and it just kind of almost bounces off of the trunk. And actually, I'm going to have you roll a quick nature check, Koshi.
Okay, so... Jesus.
Unfortunately, you have no idea why that is.
Uh.
So, unfortunately, But okay. Lyronus is now Angie Boy. He does not like what just happened to his friends. And at this point, you have never seen this boy do anything particularly violent. At this point, he draws his rapier, and I don't have a decent enough description for it, but basically it is such a light silver color that it practically gleams white, and it shows almost like, again, very star-themed, celestial night themed. I'd actually have to take the time to define it, but it's this beautiful, very elegant rapier. And as he draws it, he is pissed. Let's see how he rolls on this one. I will say that it basically, like, catches sunlight, even though, like, the sun is starting to go down, but it catches what sunlight there is and almost seems to magnify it. And... okay, let's see. So he lunges at the thing with the rapier, and unfortunately the tip of the rapier gets stuck in the trunk of the tree, but... oh, okay, that worked. After a second, he twists the hilt of the rapier, and... cool. The hilt itself appears to, or not the hilt, but the rapier itself, flashes, and almost not quite like, it's radiant damage for the record. It flashes brightly and almost like it's its own little contained explosion, so to speak. That actually blows a chunk out of the trunk of the tree. And let me just subtract that damage out here. He Angie Boy. That did not go well for this tree. That was mistake. And Lyronus continues glaring at the thing, like he has not moved the rapier away from the trunk yet. He's got it still pressed against it, and he's glaring at the tree. Haelum.
Let's go. There's still 2 twig boys, but I think... Now, Haelum's focus was on the tree, so moving bloop, just within the 5 feet. And following Lyronus's lead with the whole stabby stab. And I'm gonna add that Bardic Inspiration now. So might as well. This one's a D12 though?
Yeah.
Boop.
Okay, so that brings it up
14
to...
hit.
It hits, but...
Let's go.
Go ahead, roll your damage.
What was the butt on that?
Well, unfortunately, when you do manage to pierce it, it just similarly to Koshi, and Lyronus only had it actually stick because he just kept pushing it and pushing it. Your rapier just almost seems to glance off of the thing. Like, you know that you connected for sure. You know that normally that should have pierced right through, but it didn't. And the reason I say that is because it's immune to piercing damage.
Okay.
Which, it's an understandable, but now you know. Like, Koshi was not able to ascertain this, but now you know that you can't quite do damage to it by stabbing.
Okay.
With
so
piercing.
That means that didn't really matter. Gotcha.
If you like, you can retain your D12. I'll say that.
Nah, it's fine.
Okay.
I already used it, so there's no point.
But you basically, you did learn that. Did you want to convey that to the others about the stab not working?
Yeah, I guess she would at that point.
Because it's like, you know for sure that you hit. And you know for sure, because you've been training with this weapon, you know when it should be hurting people or things.
Right.
And so, like, you know that you should have done pretty severe damage for what you did, and it didn't seem to do anything. So,
Yeah.
your
I guess
certainty...
the confusing point is that Lyronus was able to, so.
It was not the rapier that hurt the tree.
Okay.
It was the
Well, now I
addition.
know.
It was an additional element of the rapier that he used that was able to do damage to it.
Okay.
Which, fair. Like, I agree with pointing that out too. Ariadne, it is your turn.
Okay, sorry. I'm a little confused. So just to make sure I'm on the same page. So you cannot stab it. It has to be like something that isn't stabby for it to work.
Yeah, so I guess that's the reason why Koshi's like Bolts from the Grave worked, is because it was a non-physical attack.
Oh.
Is this tree just really strong? Is everyone else really unlucky? Well, hopefully I've answered that.
Well, I think the other part of it is that Lyronus is the DM's favorite.
I think it's more about magic damage. If it's
Yeah.
immune to normal piercing, it's magic piercing that matters.
All right.
Yeah, well, we know that now.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Have a good night, Ragnar.
Take care, my dude.
It was one of the reasons why I was having Koshi roll the nature, was to be able to figure out about the piercing damage earlier, but unfortunately he rolled a 1. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then in that case, yeah, okay. So I guess instead of Twig Boy, I'm gonna have her attention go to the tree to try to, yeah. So this is for the tree.
That definitely hits, and I think that's your damage would be the 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier.
Yep.
Damn!
Okay.
Okay,
Jeez,
so
this
I love
game.
that the radiant is the common theme here too. I love that. So, basically, the arrow from the, fired from the starry form here, it technically pierces the trunk. It does not appear to immediately affect the tree, but then the radiance of the fucking bolt sent in this thing's direction consumes the tree, and not quite like fire, but it just disintegrates. Like, it's almost like it goes up in flames, only no fire whatsoever. It just, shrieking in agony.
Wait. Oh, that's an X. I thought it had more HP than that. I'm sorry, continue.
Well, it did originally, but with the 11 radiant damage that you just did, yeah, you finished it off. Basically, the glow from the arrow consumes the tree, and then the tree, again, looking crispy-ish after that basically utterly annihilates it, cries out in absolute anguish and agony, and collapses. It's be
Let's
dead.
go.
It's be dead tree now.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Koshi!
Jeez.
So, like, this thing is sort of collapsed at this point.
You see one bright flash coming from Lyronus's direction. You hear the light. You hear the thunk of Haelum's rapier hitting the trunk, but not seeming to do any damage. And she relates, piercing does not seem to work.
I think
and
she
then
would even maybe... Oh, never mind.
no. Go ahead.
No, I said never mind.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
And then suddenly, because you're on the other side of it from where Ariadne is, but you hear another thunk, and then the entire tree consumed with the light, and then just collapses over, singed, burned, not alive. It is now alivent.
Damn.
But there are 2 other twig boys still on the scene.
All right. So in that case, let's see. 1, 2. Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So in that case, I will have Koshi go over here. Let's see, let me just double check. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah. And they will use their longbow on that twig boy up there.
On that one?
Or short bow. Yeah, sorry.
Cool.
I don't have good roll karma today. Like, Koshi is just blind.
I mean, they did just die a little.
Yeah. I mean, but even before then, like, they were just getting shit rolls.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Koshi also making those constitution rolls.
Yeah.
It's not like they can just shake it off and just be a completely 100% fine after all that, I guess.
Valid.
Yeah. And... oof. Okay. Lyronus, after a moment, like, he still did not move the rapier after his attack had landed, and even after the tree fell, like, the tree fell away from his rapier. He then suddenly stares down at his hand holding the rapier, and this, again, the same sort of, like he pales again, and he starts shaking, and suddenly drops the rapier onto the ground. And seems to be seized up by something at this point. Like, his hands kind of go to either side of his head, like, on the sides of his face. Haelum, it's your turn.
I mean, I guess the first thing she would do is to ask if he's okay.
He is not.
He doesn't respond, or does he say he's not okay?
He does not appear to be responding at the moment. He seems to be kind of muttering something to himself, but he does not respond to Haelum at the moment.
Quick question, are the other two Twig Blights still in play? Because they do not seem to have a turn in the order.
I never added them, and because that's me being a dumbass. They should be, and I will add them, because I'm good at I'm super good at DMing, guys. Alright, and then let me just quickly roll for them to be in there. Okay, so they're... and... okay, so they're in the right position anyway. Alright.
Okay, so... I think, like, basically for her free action, Haelum's gonna try to get Lyronus's attention, but if that doesn't seem to work, then let's see. I just want to check how far that is. It's 30 feet. She could run up to that one. She could also run up to that one. I think she's gonna... well... I think she's gonna go here, and then do a vicious mockery on this top one.
Okay.
So, wisdom save.
And that was, what's the DC on that again?
It's 13.
It does not. Roll your, okay. And similar to how other things have gone, this thing just collapses in shame.
Yeah. So, like, basically in between, like, talking to the team as they're all fighting, like, every single time, like, she'll pause to talk to someone, then she'll, like, okay, hold that thought, kill something. She goes back to Lyronus to see if he's okay.
Did you want to roll persuasion for me? Which, again, automatically is going to be... yeah, so...
Hey, let's go, queen!
You can actually see him starting to... like, he actually, at that point, sinks to his knees, but then as you're, checking in with him, he finally seems to register Haelum, and looks over to her, but he has tears in his eyes at this point. And he's still shaking.
Yeah, she's gonna be super gentle with it. If this is, like, she considers herself out of combat now, like, obviously something could attack her, that's fine. She's gonna take a moment to, like, crouch beside him and, like, put, like, carefully, like, put her hands on his shoulders. If he doesn't flinch away, then she's gonna try to, like, calm him down that way.
I will say that he does flinch at the contact, but he's not, like, flinching away. It's more like just an immediate flinch at the contact itself.
Yeah, if we're getting into the nitty-gritty of the situations, like, try to touch the shoulder. If they flinch, give them a moment, like, show, like, I'm here. Try it again,
So, Ariadne, in your starry form.
Shoot. 'Cause
Yeah,
I can
go ahead.
imagine the whole like seeing everyone like all that stuff going down earlier, just Fudge sticking like under her breath, like, you know, like, by Sehani's grace, is there nothing that, like, you know, I could do to like save them, to help them? And then that's when like that thing, so it's not even registering for her that like she's in that form. She kind of just still kind of caught up into adrenaline of things, and she's gonna see that like Lyronus is having a moment and Haelum's helping him calm down. She wants to help, but there's still Twig Boy that might intervene with them. So using fires at him too, but I also want to use the inspiration die that Haelum gave her. So do I roll the inspiration die, or do I roll the thing first?
Did you already
It's an additional die. What are you trying to roll?
Oh, just roll to attack. 'Cause I think I can
Roll
use
the
that.
attack, and then if you need the d6, you can use it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, other way around. Okay, thank you.
Roll a d6.
Yeah.
Okay, that works.
There you go.
Ooh.
All right.
Haelum's words of work bitch reverberate through your mind.
And I'm just picking up, imagining like the Skylar sisters work, like harmonizing work, echoing in Ariadne's mind. All right.
And with that, runs over to try to help you guys out.
And at that, so officially out of combat now, and I'm just gonna, like, this guy who was hurt a couple of times has since collapsed to his knees, and the other one kind of goes over to him and is kind of like hand on shoulder, etc., doing his own little camaraderie thing. They seem to have at least stopped being paralyzed with fear now that the immediate danger has passed, and now... Oh, okay, yes. So, as the last twig blight falls, and the tree has given in, you hear the guards give off sounds of confusion, looking around themselves as though only just now seeing where they stand. And let me double check something real quick. Roll perception, everyone.
Okie dokie.
Ooh. Ooh.
Finally, a good roll. Let's go.
Ariadne, you are focused on Lyronus at the moment. But, Koshi and Haelum, you see a pair of yellowed feral eyes watching you from the trees before they vanish in a too swift to be seen movement, almost as if literally vanishing itself, and it would have been somewhere over in this direction, but even further into the forest.
That's sus.
Guess where Koshi's going.
Writing that down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Koshi, you're gonna go after it?
Koshi's gonna go after it.
Okay.
Haelum's gonna, at least if Haelum sees that, Haelum's gonna yell out and go, do you want to die a second time today?
Roll persuade.
Koshi does not respond. Or actually, what was that?
I was gonna say roll persuasion, but versus
I mean, it's player-to-player contact. I'm not trying to persuade Koshi necessarily. Basically to say, like, you go in there, we're not going to be able to help you because points to the current situation.
yeah.
Well, I mean, again, I think Laura raises a good point in that in order to get Koshi to not chase after it, a persuasion would be needed.
Let's just say don't even roll persuasion. Koshi, just roll a will save for me.
Okay.
I was gonna say, if you think that the DC for persuading Koshi would be anything under 17, because...
Let's see, will save. Remind me, is that con or wisdom?
Wisdom.
Wizard
Damn.
save.
Well,
Well, I guess Koshi's going in the forest to die again. Bye.
I will say that's that's their choice.
Yeah.
They have the choice whether, like, I will say that you hear Haelum clearly, and it is your choice whether or not you want to continue chasing into the forest, or if you want to, like, snap back and, like, oh, hey, situation here.
At this point, Koshi, I think, is so frustrated with everything, like not being able to hit anything, as well as being killed and not being able to do anything about it. They just want to get something done.
Okay. So you're running into the woods?
Koshi is running into the woods after the ice.
All right. Roll survival.
Okay.
See if you survive this.
You get lost. We'll come back to you.
Oh, yes.
Oh my god, fish.
So the guards at the moment are kind of like chatting with each other, kind of like muttering to themselves, and they're not exactly hiding this at any point. Like, so they're kind of saying this loud enough that you'd be able to hear it even at this distance. They're kind of remarking on the fact that they, like, this wasn't where they just were.
I see.
And that there's something kind of foggy going on. Lyronus, having been finally persuaded by Haelum, like, after the moment of, like, the shoulders being on his hands. No. Hands being on his shoulders, he kind of, like, takes in a deep, shuddering breath, and then actually kind of, like, presses his sleeve to his face, like, to his eyes, to kind of, like, soak up tears as they were kind of already spilling out. He's still shaking, but after a moment, like, he has not moved his arm as of yet, but he's smiling, and he says, sorry about that. Sorry.
Are you feeling all right?
Not really, but, well, let's just say I would feel better if we not linger on it. I
mean, Haelum's gonna be like, sus vibes, but she's gonna agree not to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Ariadne?
Tempted to press, but he doesn't want to talk about it now. So it's like, because in her mind, she's thinking, is this related to that woman, the, past stuff? But then it's like, this is not the time or the place, and it's like, and even if it was, it's not like she can just march over to that, like, lady and be like, yo, what the fudge? So it's like, time and place.
Is Ariadne still in her starry form?
Unfortunately, yes, it lasts for an hour.
You can't dismiss it?
Good question. Let me check. I've never done
magic. You can dispel yourself.
Okay, cool. All right.
Wait, you might want to still check.
Yeah. Wait, I was wrong. It wasn't an hour. It lasts for 10 minutes. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Okay. At this point, let's see. Let me see if she notices that she's still lit.
Lit.
I mean, we already knew that Ariadne is lit, but...
Oh yeah, she's getting litty in this bitch.
Okay, I rolled a 7. She doesn't notice yet. She'll turn it off though if the moment she notices.
So
I think.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. You first. That's it.
You're the player. You go.
Oh, okay. I was. I think to like he wants to say let's not linger at it. She opens her mouth to say something, but then it's like. But then it's like how do that words? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. If that's what you wish, if that's what you want to do, that's like that's fine. But please know you don't have to keep these things to yourself. We are open to listen, if so you choose to speak.
At this, oh, sorry. Were you still going?
No, that's it.
Okay. He does slowly lower the arm from his face, and he's still shaking, but he looks up to Ariadne with a smile, and then almost immediately, like, shiny eyes, I mean, for more than just the fucking tears, he says, Ariadne, you're beautiful.
What the fuck? No, that's not. Okay, she doesn't say. Wait, can she say fuck? She's old enough to say fuck.
Oh my god.
Okay, in character. Accidentally says, I beg your pardon? And then at that point, the spell, the starry form dispels, and she's back to fudge sticking. It only, like, hits her for, like, a second, like, that, like she catches the glow for, like, a split second, and, like, it's one of those, like, second guesses. Was that a dream? Did that just happen? I don't know. She's kind of like, hold on, bitch. Except not bitch.
I've never done that before. Oh god, okay.
Damn.
I think with Haelum being there, it kind of just also. It's like she doesn't say bitch, and it's thanks to Haelum.
Also,
and she opens her mouth, closes her mouth, not sure what to say to that.
I was even gonna say, because you were having the wondering thought, does this have anything to do, well, okay, roll insight for me.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see.
Okay, so what I'm even gonna say, what you're able to pick up on, I mean, regardless of whether or not this has anything to do with that woman, TM, you do pick up that this is definitely a traumatized reaction. Like, the shaking and all. I mean, obviously it's an obvious thing, but this is literally more than just anxiety. Like, this was literally a trigger.
Okay, and that even makes sense for, okay, so trauma recognizes trauma. Yeah, because even she earlier, like, me rolling the Constitution throws in the background, like, her specifically doing Produce Flames and, like, being so close to, like, you know, that destructive and all that kind of stuff. Like, so
you were able to pick up on that. Like, you had the insight as you were thinking, like, oh, does this have to do with that woman? And, like, you're recognizing, oh, he's actually been triggered. And then he says, you're beautiful, and that perhaps went, oops, head empty.
Head empty for a moment. It's like... Whatever she was gonna say, she lost it. She'll come back to him in a few hours.
She went from star mode to simp mode.
Whoops.
God.
Someone who's trying to flirt, Ariadne. What is wrong with you? Says the chat. Says Calum X in the chat.
Valid.
God.
I mean, that's kind of a mood.
Yeah, it's like that one scene in Treasure Planet where, like, Captain Amelia was like, your eyes are so beautiful. And then the other guy...
Yeah, that's...
God, it really do be that, don't it?
I will
I need
say...
to watch that movie again.
Yeah.
It's such a good one, but...
It's really good.
Lyronus takes a moment in terms of, like, collecting himself, and he does actually stand. Kind of still smiling at Ariadne, seeing her shift back, like, from starry form. And it's like, well, I suppose you always were, but I've never seen anyone do that. Well, I mean, other than my father and siblings and me, but that's a little bit different, I think.
Stares at these hands. I mean, all I could think was you all were in trouble and I wanted to do something, and I guess in that moment, I mean, I guess I guess I silently prayed to Sehani and she heard me. I don't know. I'm kind of religious, kind of not religious. It's weird. It's weird, and it's not that Sehani is fine. It's I just that I've never done that before either. It's kind of new. And we will talk later about the thing that yes.
I think he smiles. And here's what he said, well, I suppose you were already always a star in my mind, but it's nice to know that you can always assume the form that you always were. He's a bard! Haelum moving away!
I was gonna say, I don't want to interrupt this situation, but I know Haelum would have stopped being helpful and or listening the moment he said, "You're beautiful."
Yeah.
Perfect.
At this moment, Haelum's kind of like just staring off in the direction where Koshi went, like wondering, like,
Hey,
well,
baby.
they're dead, so
Oh no.
not sure what to do about that.
Should we go after? Should we go after Koshi then? Or
We'll
It's
see.
entirely up to you guys.
Yeah.
yeah.
I tried to warn them.
Yeah.
True.
So the guards are kind of like, after realizing the situation and, oh, like, hey, there are people who showed up and apparently fucking cleaned house. They approach Haelum, seeing the other two engaged in a conversation, and are like, what happened here?
She'll turn to the two of them and say, well, you were being attacked, and we came to rescue you, but it seems now that your demeanor has changed. You don't seem to remember... Or, no, actually, she'll rephrase it as, like, do you remember what was happening just now?
They exchange a look, and they actually remark, Cat, please. They don't remark that. Sweetie. Garrus, I'm glad you're doing better. Anyway.
Yeah.
They remark kind of, like, they shrug a little bit and say that, like, that they're not entirely sure. They just sort of remember vaguely wandering to this river bank and all of that, the riverside, and setting up camp overnight, despite, like, the last thing that they knew was they were supposed to be standing guard in the city, for the incoming, or the city, the town. Oh, baby. Sorry. Cat's still not well. Knowing that attack was coming, and then for some reason they just wandered off and even set up the camp for overnight, hence the tent that was set up. But for some reason, they were convinced that this was where they were supposed to be.
And they remember that much.
Just about an hour ago, many monstrous beasts, horrifying to behold, appeared and began menacing them. They stare at what remains of the twig blights. That's not what we saw. But I guess that's all they were, huh? And I don't want to necessarily immediately cut off, because I am enjoying the roleplay stuff, but I feel like I want to leave that as a cliffhanger, especially because of the time and everything that it's been.
Okay.
Do you guys want to do anything else? Because, I mean, we can... I know asking the question in that, was there any other kind of thing? We'll get back to Koshi running off into the woods. That'll have to be probably next time.
Yeah.
And don't worry, they'll have something interesting come up as a result of their actions. Was there anything other than continuing to question the two of them that you guys wanted to get done for today?
Well, it's basically not my end.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would say is at some point during what the guards were describing, I'd want to think that, like, after, like, finally she'll be able to, like, say out a thank you to Lyronus, but then something about what the guard says, like, brings her attention, at least, maybe Lyronus's too, and so they catch the end part of what the guards were saying. So at least that way, next time when we start, everyone's kind of, like, a little together.
Yeah.
Yep.
Make it easier for you.
Outside of Koshi, who ran off again,
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the cliffhanger for that. They
Woohoo!
Oh, yeah, one last thing I think that can maybe help tie even further. Then maybe if it helps any, because Ariadne doesn't know that Koshi ran off. She was distracted. Um, hey, we're missing one. Where's Koshi? And then,
Haelum points a thumb towards the forest.
oh my god, fish! And then yeah, there we go. Now everyone's tied.
Next time on Starburst.
I mean, you said it. So,
Yeah,
That-
there we go.
that is Starburst for today.
Woohoo!
This actually went a
we
little
did
bit.
it.
This went a little bit longer than I actually expected I was going to, but I'm glad that I felt that comfortable. Actually, I'll say that much.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad for that.
Same.
Because I know that earlier today, like I said, I was not feeling so hot, so I'm glad for that much. So, that's fun. Nice little cliffhanger of, oh, what happened to the guards? But I'm looking forward to that. But,
Yeah.
I want to thank everyone who came by to watch today. We're going to be calling it up here in just a sec, but obviously there was a vote that actually happened with the Patreon between last session and this one, and they actually got to vote on what loot they're going to actually get out of this encounter. And that will probably come up once we actually come back from all of this. So a couple of weeks from now, every other Sunday, 4:30. Anyway, the patrons over on Patreon got to vote on what loot, and it was a choice between something shiny, something expensive, I think it was something useful, and then something crafty. And initially shiny got the most votes, and almost primarily because people wanted something shiny for the bird.
Yeah, let's go.
But interestingly enough, something crafty actually ended up getting twice the votes between then and now. So they're going to be able to pick up something nice and cool and crafty by the time
Nice.
we come back. You will get it either way because the patrons actually voted on it. One way or another, you're going to be able to get it. I do recommend searching for it, however, but it shouldn't.
Gotcha.
It's not going to be a tough DC to actually locate it. So, thank you for that, outside car. As opposed to the inside car me? Anyway.
Hey.
But, again, if you are a patron, even just for $1, you get to vote on things in between sessions. I'm not sure if there's going to be a vote this time. I still have the results of a couple of these votes now to kind of be woven in. But they are going to be coming up probably in this, the next episode of the Lore of Leyus Starburst. So, not only does that help with keeping the channel going, not only does that help me with, monthly costs and everything on my end, but it means that you get to have an impact on the course of this campaign and get all sorts of behind-the-scenes stuff, early access to videos, and all of that stuff. So that's that little plug. As always, if you like the videos that go up on this channel, if you like the streaming, like for example that we did today, if you I know that's like the standard one that everyone always says is comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and all of that. It does help to alert you whenever we do go live here on the channel. Like, it gives you the actual alert, like, this person, Sirenia Studios, is now live. So, we do stream every other, I even have a nice little reminder popping up on the screen here. The Lore of Leyus Starburst continues every other Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Central, so 5:30 p.m. Eastern. But it's every other Sunday, it's not every Sunday. But even then, it'll alert you whenever I upload other videos to my channel, which there is a new song cover and a new symbolism and lore, both in the pipeline of production, and they should be coming up sometime between now and next session. So that's worth keeping an eye out for. The likes and the comments and all of that. First of all, I love just hearing from you guys. If you guys have stuff to say, or if you guys have fan art, like I said earlier, if you guys make some kind of fan art, if you DM it to me over on Twitter, on the Sirenia Studios Twitter, which is usually linked in the description for all of the videos, or if you are in a server with me on Discord, you can usually DM it to me there as well. And I will see what I can do to actually start putting together a feature of fan art for anything involving, like, if you guys do something for Starburst. I would love to see it.
Please do.
But feedback in general, comments and stuff like that, not only do I get, like, you know, personal validation, which is the most important thing in the universe, out of reading what you guys are saying, but it also kind of is, like, tells YouTube that, oh, people like this video enough to say something about it, etc. Same thing with the likes and all of that. And if you're not subscribed to me, why wouldn't you be? Anyway, all of that said, thank you guys for coming by to watch. Thank you guys in call for playing with me today.
Of course.
Yeah.
And hopefully I will see you guys... Well, hopefully I see you guys in call with me, especially for next session 2 weeks from now.
Take care, everyone.
Hasta la vistas.